God. Ask God.
Hi, Scott. This is Romil from Ohio. First of all, thank you so much for helping and inspiring so many of us every day. You're truly doing an amazing job. So I have recently started listening to your podcast, and I'm in the product research phase right now. Can you please talk about the process of getting ungated sample ordering and testing the market first, and then ordering the big order like 500 units from Alibaba for a gated category? I'm struggling with the sequence of these three steps. So if you just order the samples to test the market, is it possible to sell it without getting ungated? If not, then how do I get ungated just with the samples? Does Alibaba suppliers provide invoices for samples? Would Amazon ungate me with such a small quantity like 5 units? I would appreciate it if you can shed some light on this topic. Again, thanks for all the help. Have a nice day.
Hey, Ramil, thank you so much for the question. And this is a good question. I like this question because, it can be challenging to get ungated with a handful of your product, right? Because we need to split that up into 3 invoices. As of right now, to get ungated, that is one of the pieces that you need to do to get ungated. The other option, though, that you have, and there's a couple things that you can do here, and I'll kind of go through these with you right now. But the first thing is maybe what you do is you look for a different category that fits what you're selling without it being gated. It has to make sense, though. I wouldn't say to do this just to kind of game the system so you can get your product up and running. I would try to find something that's a related category that makes sense, but yet might not need to be ungated at this point. And then if you start to see that you can get sales, because now, even though you're not in that category, you can still promote that product. You can still get sales. It's just pay-per-click will be more expensive and things like that. The ranking might be a little bit more challenging, but again, it'll still get validated. So that would be one option. The other option would be to buy more than 5 units. I know you're trying to do this probably low cost, and you're probably trying to do it with just 5 units. I mean, that's really a small order. I would say if you're gonna try to get ungated, you're gonna want to split like maybe 50 up into 3 batches, or maybe 60, and you do 20, 20, and 20, or something like that. And this way here you have those 3 invoices. If you guys are brand new and you don't know the process of getting ungated, we did a full episode on this in episode 212. So theamazingseller.com/212. And we go through that, myself and Chris Schaefer, and give you a detailed, kind of a way to kind of go through this process step by step. And you guys can check that out if you're interested. I'll also link that up in the show notes. But that's like my recommendation. Like, if you're going to go into a category that's gated, you are going to have to go through that process, or you're going to have to find another category that isn't gated that you can still sell that product in that makes sense. All right. The other little bit of advice would be, well, maybe you hold off on this one and you start with another category that's not gated with a different product, maybe one that's related, but then, if you wanted to later, you can then take the 2 products and help them sell each other by, showing up this, frequently bought together and all of those things. So this way here, or if you're doing like an open brand concept, it doesn't really matter. You can just say, okay, on this category, I'm going to hold off on right now. I'm going to go over here to this category because I had another product over here that I was thinking about launching that's not related to this one. And that's what we call our open brand concept. It's where you're launching different types of products under one umbrella brand, meaning something like a Walmart or a Target, they are the umbrella of the brand, and then they sell sub-brands underneath, their main brand. So, yes, they have sometimes their own PL products, like Target has their own brand, Walmart has their own brand, usually the grocery stores have their own brands, but I'm not talking about that. I'm saying like, let's say the grocery store sells Tide, but the name of the or Walmart, they sell Tide, detergent. Well, that's a sub brand, obviously underneath. It's a brand that they sell under their umbrella, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. That's kind of the open brand concept. But again, depending on what you're doing is going to decide what you can do here. But hopefully that's giving you a little bit of direction there on what to do. If you have not went through episode 212, I strongly recommend that you do that, because that is the process. And it might be more challenging if you have only a handful of products to do this. You're probably going to need to order more and then have your supplier break that up into different batches. So this way here you can show 3 different invoices, because that is part of the process. All right. So thanks again for the question. I appreciate it, and good luck to you. Keep me posted. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session, and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there, and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business, and this way here you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.